It's a great day, my amazing CEOs. In 2011, Pat Brown, a professor at Stanford University, embarked on a mission that many thought was impossible, and that was tackling the world's most pressing environmental issue, meat production. And the challenge was clear. People were addicted to meat. And breaking this addiction, well, for lack of a better word, seemed impossible. You get where we're going, right? But you fast forward. It's now 2019. Impossible Foods face another unexpected hurdle. An overwhelming demand for the Impossible Burger caused a shortfall, which means they couldn't fulfill the orders. Isn't this crazy? Now, as a CEO, you think, oh, that might be pretty cool from a PR perspective. That's a complete nightmare. But customers remained loyal to Impossible Burger. And this really showcased and stressed the need for being able not only to connect, but also have a strategy that has the right sales positioning. That's the language that allows the customer to understand that this isn't perfect, but we're going to get it right. So Impossible Foods revolutionized the plant-based meat industry by not only understanding the science of the taste of meat, but more importantly, strategically targeting food and chefs. So they target foodies first and then chefs. Now, you talked about collaboration crushes competition as a CEO. We talked about having a strategic sales strategy. Well, their strategy was linking with chains like Burger King and White Castle to get into the fast food market, which many said was impossible. So Shay, what's the big takeaway that I can have as a CEO? Well, as you look at the case study, you look at your own business, sales systems matter. I'm going to say that again a little slower. Sales systems matter. Pat Brown had a vision and he had a belief, but without the right sales system to execute and showcase not only what the solution was, but to overcome the hurdles as he was going, well, he would have never been able to impact lives. He would have never been able to have Impossible Foods, and he'd never be able to have us all be healthier, if you believe, like I believe, than we are today, than we were yesterday. So at the end of the day, as a CEO, you solve the problems. You have the sales strategy. You have the sales system, because systems matter. Indeed, you will see your revenue go up. With that being said, my name, by the way, is Che Brown. Welcome to the CEO Sales Huddle. It is an honor and a privilege to be your host. We like to start off every single morning the exact same way. And we start off with our mantra. And our mantra this morning is the same, which is repeat after me. If you know what it is, just go ahead and say it. If you're here for the first time, you might not. But if you know what it is, here it is. If you can't focus on sales, you can't be in business. Now, you're going to say, Shay, do I have to say that? Yes. Go ahead and put it up there. Go ahead and repeat after me right now. If you can't focus on sales, you can't be in business. What's the big why? What's the big why? Because sales is the oxygen for every great business in history. Now, once we do that, we move to another segment. We do it every morning. As a CEO, you're checking in, so this is part of the structure, and then we're going to get on to some cool stuff. But this is important. Every morning, I believe a CEO needs to say these words. I've said them. It's helped me, and here it is. I must learn, earn, and return. Now, you got that part. Learn, earn, and return. So repeat after me. I have to learn something new. Like, say it. Like, seriously, it's okay as a CEO. In order to earn new revenue from current clients, in order to get new and old clients to return. Learn, earn, and return. Now, once we do that, then now we move on and we're able to say, okay, this is what it's about. I'm always learning. I'm always getting new clients. But now you might be wondering, if you're here for the first time, what is our number one objective? And maybe you're here every day at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. We have 3 objectives. The first objective is sales progress. We look for our sales to continue to go up. That's the number one reason you give us 15 minutes a day. Number 2 is to overcome any roadblocks. So just like Impossible Foods, we know life ain't no crystal stairs, they say. There's going to be some roadblocks. So we got to overcome those. No big deal. And number 3, to make sure we fully understand the 5 sales pillars that every CEO needs to understand. Let me give you those 5 sales pillars as we're at the 4 minutes and 34-second mark. Number 1, sales planning. Okay, not that we have a revenue plan, we have a sales strategy, a sales system, because sales systems matter to get to that revenue target. Number 2, our sales cycle. What is the customer journey from the time that we connect with them to the time we communicate with them to the time that we do what? they convert to our product or services. And then number 3 is sales positioning. What's the language you're using? What's the words that we're using? We understand our words that make us rich. And number 4, we do this every morning, I love to share this with you, is our sales indicators. That means we're going to have a CEO sales dashboard. We recognize what gets measured gets managed, okay? And what gets managed gets better. Don't you just love that? So you got this. This is really cool. And so then the 5th sales pillar is a sales team. So now we have the 5 sales pillars. Our next segment, which I love, by the way, I love every one of these, is what's our outcome. And I think it's fair and reasonable for those folks that are tuning in for the very first time. We spend 15 minutes. I only ask for 15 minutes. So if you're here every day and you're a regular and this is what you do me a favor. Do it at 8 a.m. I love to read the messages. I love to check in. Put hashtag I'm here. As a CEO, you're tuned into this. Put that down. Then number 2, if you're watching the replay, put a hashtag replay. You're here. If 8 a.m. may not always fit your schedule. There's meetings going on. There's things that happen throughout your day, but you found time because this is so important to you. And if you're watching for the first time, let me just share with you what CEO Sales Huddle is all about. The CEO Sales Huddle is a place that CEOs come to gather to understand how to sell more faster. And we do have a big why. There's a reason why we come together. Sales growth, sales accountability, and sales consistency. So it's all about being consistent. Yes, we do ask for some of your time. It's 15 minutes a day. There are 1,440 minutes in every day. 15 minutes. You can do this. Tune in, listen to it live, listen to the replay. If you're online on the Roku channel, then you can go and send me a DM over there. What's our number 1 outcome? $100,000 per month of consistent, predictable, reliable revenue. Now we're at the 6 minute and 55 second mark. We're moving along. You're here at the CEO Sales Huddle because you want to have consistent, predictable, reliable income, and you want to get to $100,000 or more a month of revenue. So welcome to the CEO Sales Huddle. Let me give you the tool, the number 1 tool that helps CEOs get to $100,000 because they understand what gets measured gets managed. What gets managed gets better when it's managed right. So this is really exciting. Like I'm super excited. So if you haven't already, I want to encourage you to go ahead and download the CEO sales plan. And you can download the CEO dashboard by going over to ceosaleshuddle.com. ceosaleshuddle.com. Once you come over to ceosaleshuddle.com, once you're there, you can go ahead at this point and download it. We look at 5 indicators that are important. There's leads, appointments, offers, deals, and repeat business. So there's only 5 categories. Every morning I go deep in one category. So open up the spreadsheet now, open it up. Now some of you've already filled it out. You've been filling it out all week. You've been filling it out all month. This is what you do. Others, well, it's the first time. It's okay. Do me a favor. Open it up. You see the categories on the right-hand side. It goes across 1 through 31. Pick today's date. You're going to work backwards. So just look at yesterday. Now, I'm not going to go into each category today. I normally go deep in about 2 minutes in one area. We're at the 8 minute and 28 second mark. Thanks for all the feedback you guys have given me, by the way. So I'm trying to keep some of the comments to a minimum today. But we're going to talk about repeat clients. Now, when you look at it, it can be a bit overwhelming because there's a couple things in here. But let me move this here. It's not. The subcategories is something that you can change yourself. So you'll see, like I have the leads, I have a couple subcategories. Under deals, I got subcategories. You can change it in the Excel sheet. I wanted to create something that was easy to use, easy to understand. One of my superpowers, we all have many superpowers. One of my superpowers is taking things that are very complicated and making it easy to understand, easy to execute. So under repeat business, we're tracking the revenue that comes in from repeat clients. Now, when you get new revenue from existing clients, that just increases the revenue. It doesn't grow the business, but it does grow the revenue. Business only grows from new clients, okay? But we need repeat. So we understand that the cost of getting a new customer is so much more expensive than the cost of having one in-house. So how many customers, we look at the repeat business, purchase a new product? So maybe if you're Apple, we use Apple, for example. If I got the iPad, I went and got the iPhone 15 or whatever the number is these days, okay? So that's one. So how many And what was the revenue? How many was the revenue? Put it in the box. Now, you don't have to do this yourself. If you have to do it as a CEO, it's okay. I've got to wear a lot of hats. I get what that's like. But if you got an assistant, this is their number one job. You got a business operations manager, this is their number one job. You got a support staff, this gets done. If not, do it now. And then take a look at how many folks did what we would call an upsell. I put existing product in here because you could have the Apple computer and you bought a cover from it for it, right? So you kind of did an upgrade. If you were in, I don't know, a coaching program, you might have did the VIP level now. So it's not a new product. It's just an upsell, or they purchased something else that was already in that product line. And then the last one I'm putting on here because it's about membership. Because some of you watching, not all of you, some of you are supervisors, some of you are managers, some of you are directors, some of you are entrepreneurs, and it doesn't relate to you. But there are a good number of you out there that are listening right now at the 10-minute and 57-second mark that membership is important. So I always like to look at how many new members came in, and then how many members stayed, and then how many members, it's like retention, and then how many members stayed. Now, for now, the reason I have membership just at one level is I wanted some folks to put down, if yesterday I had 25 members, and today I got 27 members, that's pretty cool. You can go back and look at the month to see where it started. Okay, does that make sense? You can go back and measure the revenue day 1 versus day 31. But membership is important because one-time payments make you one-time rich, but consistent payments make you very, very wealthy. So I wanted to share that with you. That's so exciting. Okay, now we're going to move on to our next segment, which is my favorite. Of course, they're all my favorite, or we wouldn't do it, which is this is when we take a time to step back and we just acknowledge our successes. We acknowledge what's working. And there's 3 questions we ask ourselves because powerful people ask powerful questions because questions steer focus. And in this life, you get what you focus on. So now we're going to focus on what's working in our sales department, what's working with our sales operation. Here's the question. What are you most proud of yesterday? Put that down. Put that in your notes. What was your biggest accomplishment in the operations yesterday? From a sales operations, what was one of the biggest accomplishments? And then number 3, what do you want to brag about? You're like, yeah, this got done. Yes, yes, yes. If I could bring you on, and we're going to be doing this, and we're starting a group of you. We'll tell you about that later. But we're going to be doing this where you can come on live and you can brag. That's exciting. But then also, we're not going to sit back and pretend like the world's cupcakes, unicorns, they're just falling out the sky. No, that's not it. It's not just unicorns. It's not just cupcakes. It's not just smiley faces. Things happen. So we got an area called overcoming hurdles. And we ask ourselves 3 questions to handle any roadblocks that exist. Number 1, what was your biggest roadblock yesterday from a sales operations process in your sales systems? What is preventing you today in your sales systems from moving forward? What's the one thing you can do? You have complete control over that can move your sales system forward. And write that down. Listen, we're at a good place right now. You're here. My message of the day is stay the course. My message of the day is stay the course. There I was having a conversation with the one and only Dr. George C. Frazier. And Dr. George C. Frazier was giving me feedback because we had been producing media production for the Power Networking Conference. And there've been a lot of hiccups, all right? When you're starting something, you don't have the right equipment. You're trying to make something work, or you're trying to do what they call workaround solutions. And he was about to do something pretty big and kind of wanted to be that team for him. And when you know what he said? He said, number 1, you got to step up your production values. That was huge. That was probably the most profitable thing he could say, one of them to me. And when he said that, I said, I'm going to do that. Then he turned around and gave me the encouragement. This is the encouragement I want to give you. He said, stay the course, though. You'll get better. Stay the course. You'll get better. Stay the course. You'll get better. Stay the course. You'll get better. So my message to you as you're listening out there, you're not giving up. I already know that. You're a CEO, but I'm going to encourage you, just like Impossible Foods, I'm going to encourage you to make the adjustments. I'm going to encourage you to look at the sales strategy and the sales systems, because sales systems matter. But above all that, stay the course. You're going to get there. Keep tuning in to the CEO Sales Huddle. Give me 15 minutes a day. My promise is you'll make a little bit of progress, a little bit of progress, a little bit of progress, and then bow, there'll be the breakthrough. With that being said, we're at the 14-minute and 50-second mark. We did it. My name, by the way, is Shay Brown, the host of the CEO Sales Huddle. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all you do. And I'll see you. Seriously, as a CEO on the other side. We out of here. We made it. First time in a while, I think. Peace, everybody.